Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 19 of the Leetcode Day Challenge. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about this one. So before I start, as usual, my workout today, I did a 7-mile run, a quick, easy run. Just keep my feet on the ground, nothing too hard. But I want to bring attention to family. So the contest, there was a weekly contest over the weekend where, again, Leetcode is doing this silly, dubious thing of rejudging things, and as a result, my Q2 got failed. But look, honestly, I don't even care if they fix it anymore. The rating, like I always tell people on this channel, right? The rating doesn't matter. It's just a progress. If you know you're good, you know you're good, right? If you know you're making progress, it doesn't matter what the rating is. It's just part of the journey, right? So honestly, I don't care if they fix it, but it is kind of like a little bit, I think it's a little bit silly in just like as a contest that they're basically throwing away. They rather people with correct solutions fail than and failing incorrect solutions that also fail. But I don't know. I feel like that's really not an optimization that you should do. I think my main problem though is that, so if my test case, my Q2 failed because it apparently used too much memory. Of course, during the contest, if that happened, I would have gotten a 5-minute penalty. We submitted it, and that's that, right? Not a big deal. Maybe still probably could have been better. I don't know. But because this happened after the contest, then now I just get 0 points for it, which is kind of just stupid if you ask me. And I think like, they say that they care and they say that they know how frustrating it is, but if they know how frustrating it is, then they wouldn't have done it, right? And I know that they didn't do it. They didn't add test cases to fail my problem or the way that this is solved on purpose. But it just kind of shows you how people don't always do things intentionally to be bad. People can sometimes just be very thoughtless about how they do things, right? And they just kind of like, okay, well, this thing that you did has unintentional consequences, and it's up to you to figure out whether you want to fix it or not. So this kind of lack of polish has been going on for a while on Leetcode contests. I've been actually honestly debating quitting as well. Not because of this, honestly. I was debating quitting because it's just like they don't also care about ChatGPT solvers. It doesn't seem like there are a lot of cheaters, as people know every week, and it's just like at some point, I'm still going to solve the problems, but maybe just not during the contest because it doesn't matter, right? Like if the value of solving it live is to get kind of have this thing about it, well, because of ChatGPT and cheaters, and it's just like like I guess I don't need to solve it live, right? But again, I don't care about rating. Like these ratings, I know I'm good, honestly, right? Maybe that's a brag, but it'll come back up to converge to wherever I am. Like I'm not really worried about it in the short term, or in the long term or short term, really, I guess. But the problem is that it's just the way they do the system, right? Because my complaint isn't that my code is too slow and should be right. Okay, maybe that's for debate. Or that it uses too much memory and that it should be correct. The thing about that is that anyone can learn from those things, right? Like if you consistently write code that is too slow, then you can learn from it. And if you consistently write code in a certain way that is too much memory, you should learn from it, right? At a certain point, stop complaining and learn from it, right? Is what I would tell myself. It's just that there are two things, right? One is that, well, in order to learn, you have to know how to learn, right? And how to learn is how to get feedback, right? But this particular thing is that it's just all guesswork, right? It's not problem solving, it's mind reading, right? And what I mean by that is that, okay, I have to mind read and guess, not just now, but also future, whether they're going to add things to fix it, right? Keeping in mind that, yeah, there are some constraints like n and whatever, right? Like there's n's and they don't even really tell you the timeout cases, or not timeout cases. They don't even tell you how long of a time you have or how much memory you can use. which means to me that they don't tell you the constraints. And keeping in mind that as part of this rant while I'm at it, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit salty. Not that I don't care that much about it per se, but it's just like, it's a very not good, feeling in your mouth or whatever, right? But that's the thing, right? Is that, and the TLE case is even easier to say, right? Like given these kind of open-ended constraints, you can fail any and every solution you want, right? Because look, if my code runs in 4 seconds and the time limit is 10 seconds, well, if they just 3 times the number of inputs, say, then it's going to take 12 seconds and I'm going to time out. Is there any way for me to predict that? No, because they don't tell you how many test cases there are. And even if they do, it matters whether the new test cases are, n is, max n case, or n is equal to 1 edge case where it takes no time, right? So you don't even know. And the thing with that 12 seconds is that you may say, oh, 12 seconds, you could optimize 20%. But that's the thing, right? Like, if you get a timeout, even during the contest, but even worse, obviously, after the contest, because, well, it's after the contest. But even during the contest, let's say your code, if you allow it to go to the end, takes 20 seconds, right? How do you know that and you make an optimization that cuts your time by 30%? So it takes 70% of the time it did before because you wrote a good optimization. And so now, because you don't know that it took 20 seconds, there's no way to know whether your new optimization could get it down to 10 seconds. Again, they don't tell you the number of inputs. So you can't generate max case for yourself because they don't tell you the number of inputs. You could generate one max case, and of course, if your code works, then you feel great and happy. But that's not what is measured. What happens is that they sum up all your test cases in determining timeout, right? A similar thing could be said about memory limited. I think the time thing is easier to kind of visualize. So I'll stick with that. There are also just like a lot of nuances that when you're dealing with memory and stuff like this, right? Yeah, and I think what I'm trying to do, and hopefully, is to kind of just bring awareness and maybe some pressure for them to like just realize, like, hey, like in the future, right? Like I said, I don't care about this thing I put on YouTube. You know how I did. I don't have to explain anything about like if I'm smart or not. Whether I'm smart or not, or whether my self-worth is determined by Leetcode rating of all the ratings. Leetcode rating is probably the most useless of all the competitive ratings, right? I don't care. I don't care if they fixed it for this rating, but it's just like future consistency, and hopefully they'll actually take it in mind. And that said, right, I think they have been taking it into consideration for timeouts, right? Because I know that they kind of, like I said, sometimes it's 10 seconds, sometimes they add in a few seconds when they add more test cases, but they do not currently do this for memory. I know that even then there's still edge cases, probably, but you could try your best and still be wrong. So and I think that's what they're doing here without realizing what's going on. The right way to do it, of course, is just do what literally every other competitive platform does if they try to pretend to be a competitive platform, which is to separate out the test cases. Because then now, when I go to my thing, I test one max case. If it times out, then I know, oh, Larry, I have to optimize. Or if it doesn't time out, then I'm like, oh, okay, then I know that this is mostly right? It's kind of ridiculous that basically every 2 contests there's some issue, right? Like, is that like, maybe I should have a counter that's like 0th contest since last issue with Leetcode. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, my point again is that I hope that in the future they'll be a little bit better about it. That said, maybe I shouldn't hold up hope because they said something about the time limited thing, and I think they've been mindful, but they didn't actually fix it. They just try to be a little bit more careful, even though there still has been some dubious decisions, including They said they want to consider fixing this, and that was like a year and a half ago. So who knows? And maybe who cares? The reason why I do this is because I enjoy it. Because I get to do it in like 30-40 minutes, and I don't need to do like a 3-hour contest. But I also probably don't need to do it live, so I don't know. Anyway, so that's basically kind of like if you're curious about the contest drama, that's basically it. If you want to read my post, it's on the discussion forum. Feel free to. Maybe I'll post a link in my comments if you want to go that. Give me an upvote, give me some love, give me some support. So, or maybe just tell me I'm wrong, and maybe let me know if I'm being silly, and maybe I am. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much to me anyway. I mean, in the moment I am annoyed, but it's just, yeah, it's just that, in the grand scheme of things, like if I am a 2900 rating, whatever, it'll get back there eventually in in a few more contests, say. But I think one other thing that I want to add is that, I think maybe I gotta stop using Python. I mean, they keep on saying that they want to support Python, but Python is the one with all these weird, stupid edge cases that they keep on, because this isn't just this, right? Like, even on the bi-weekly, I did not submit the code because of the same reason, right? Which is that in the bi-weekly, I didn't submit because they didn't have the constraints, and I thought it'd be too slow. So it is what it is. I don't know. At this point, they pretend to care about the rating, but the rating is becoming a joke. So then, they care about the rating, but they don't care about the process to make the rating something that's worthwhile, right? I don't know. And anyway, if you do Leetcode does have other good points, but you can definitely use it for the problem archive. If you ask me what my favorite contest site is, Codeforce is obviously pretty good. Everyone knows Codeforce, but the other one that I like a lot actually to set up is DMOJ. And if you're a fan of his, Josh C, I think that's his handle. I don't know. That was a long time ago, actually. Oh, I guess it's just Josh on this thing. But yeah, Josh, I'm a fan of his contest, so definitely. But if you try to do it, they're way more difficult, so maybe it's not for everybody. But definitely check that out. But yeah, I think at this point, I'd rather they just come out and say that they do not support Python, because that's how it feels like. And I'm not joking. I mean, I think I said this in the past, and I'm half joking and half not. Is that my Leetcode rating could be easily 100 points higher if I don't do it in Python. So people ask me like once in a while, one person will do it very fast in Python, and they'll be like, oh, Python is a cheat code, and then but you don't see it like every other contest where you get it right, but then Leetcode just like, nope, it's a little bit wrong for some reason. And yeah. Anyway, let's actually get to the problem. My apologies if you're staying through this rant. Me, I don't do that many rants, but if you're doing the contest, hopefully you give me some love and support, especially for me to keep on doing these contest videos anyway. So anyway, let's get a look at today's problem. 241 different ways to add parentheses. It's a medium problem, so let's give it a medium take. Given a string expression of, I don't know what that means either, sorry. Given a string expression of numbers and operations, return all possible results from computing all the different possible ways to group numbers and operators. You may return the answer in any order. The test cases are generated in a way such that the answer, okay, how many numbers are there? The expression length is 20, and all the integers are up to 99. So there could be a lot of things you can do. One thing I would say though is that, hang on a second. I'm gonna get some tea. Let's see. So the expression length is 20. What does that mean to me, right? What that means to me is that, let's say you have, what is it? What is the worst case, right? Worst case is you have 10 different numbers, and you have 10, is that right? Yeah, you have 10 different numbers and 9 different operations, right? Or operators. Sorry. Let me drink this tea. I talked a lot, so. Um, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. The 10 at best 10 numbers and 9 operations, right? Operators. I said it again. But it turns out that if you and maybe you do know, maybe you don't know. But this is actually a case. The number of ways to do parentheses in any expression is actually counted in numbers. So definitely read up on it. It's a very good thing to read up on. It comes up in a lot of places, as you can see, because it is also the apparently non-crossing partition of a 5-element set. Okay, and there are two main ways to think about the counter in numbers and the number of operations. Right. One is just this. Well, I guess even here there are 3 ways to putting it, but this is the sequence. And why do we have the sequence here, or why do we care about this sequence? Is that here you can see that the 9th number is 1400, the 10th number is 4862. I don't know if it's gonna be 8 or I don't know if it's gonna be 9 or 10, but even if it's, I think it's 9. I always forget how they write. I wouldn't be surprised if they even mentioned the. Oh yeah, see, they even tell you here. N plus 1 factors. Okay, so that means that it should be 9, but yeah. But either way, even if it's 10, it's fast enough, right? Because the point here is that there are at most 1,430 operations, or 4,000 operations, right? So that means that we're able to brute force, is my point, because there are only 5,000 things, right? 5,000, and let's say each of those things do 10 operations. That's 5,000 times 10. That's 500,000, which is going to be fast enough. So yeah, so that's basically the idea, right? That we're going to try to do brute force in a way. The second thing about category numbers is that another formulation of category number, or maybe not formulation, but another places that another place that it comes up a lot in is there's parentheses, but also matrix multiplication, but and all these other things. The way that you would write a counter number is, so basically okay, it's not in the, maybe it's in the wiki, I don't know, but the way that you kind of write a counter numbers is that it basically have this structure in dynamic programming. Or I guess it doesn't have to be dynamic programming, my apologies, and in this case it isn't, but you have this thing about, like, let's say you have n numbers, and then now you have, say, for mid is in range of left right, so then usually you have some operation that does like left mid, I don't know, plus f of mid right or something, maybe mid plus 1, but you get the idea. So usually this gives you and this is how you actually calculate counter numbers as well, where the base case is 1. This is the solution. Maybe it's off by 1 on the bounds, but like maybe it's this or something. But you get the idea. So yeah. So in this particular problem, I think it'll be advantageous for us to do it the same way, right? What does what do these parens mean, right? So adding a paren means splitting or taking one operator, and that operator is the last thing that you do. So in that way, you can do it in a divide and conquer kind of way. So that's excuse me. So that's basically the idea. So then now, let's go from the beginning in terms of implementation, right? So here we want to, tokenize it, right? So here maybe we want to tokenize. So yeah, so maybe we have tokens is equal to right? So for C in expression, if C is in oh yeah, I was looking for the number of or the type of operators, right? Oops. Else yeah. This is very annoying to do. Actually, yeah, I won't. I could do it, but I don't want to do it. I want to do it, but I don't want to. But yeah, I'm going to use group by is what I'm going to end up doing. How do group by work again? Is there a key thing? I forget how to. I should be better about this actually. I mean, I'm just reading up the. It takes a parameter for keep or something, but I don't remember if it's key. No, it just takes a function, right? So okay, so then you have a lambda x where x is in So then now this is the group by, right? So now we have for. I always forget in which order you get it, so I always print it. I think this is the right order, but let's take a quick look. Lambda. Yeah, so you can see that it gets spoken, right? So then now, yeah. So then now the two things, right? If x, then tokens just append x, else. Oh no, not x. Oops, t. And it can only be. Oh, actually. Well, there can be two tokens in a row or two operators in a row, so it should be fine. And otherwise, actually, though, I think I have to do this because otherwise it's like an iterator type thing. But yeah, otherwise we append. Now we know that this is going to be an int, so we int. We join this of t, right? So then now this should give us what we want, and we can test it real quick with both of them, right? So then now here we just want to yeah, brute force this, right? So yeah, n is equal to I don't know what n is equal to. Basically the number of operators, so is going to be 2 times n minus 1, right? So then now n is just going to be the length of tokens divided by 2, right? Because let's see, 5 is going to be 3. No, so maybe it's going to be minus 1 over 2. Is it? No, 3, right? No, 5. Yeah, no, this should be good, right? Half of them should be. This is just the number of operators. N is the number of operators. Let me put it in here. Right, and then now let's see, right? So then now we just do what we said, right? So then now we have a function. Maybe we call it eval, except for eval is a keyword. So I'm just going f left, right, and this is actually I don't know. Maybe this shouldn't be. Maybe this isn't quite right. I don't know. Maybe it should be the number of numbers. Is that true? Yeah, maybe the number of numbers is a little bit better. So then if you have 5, then you have 3 numbers. Yeah, okay. Right, so then now, right, so now we does this make sense though? Yeah, no, it should. Okay, yeah. Yeah, whatever, but let's just do length of tokens. This is just too confusing, I think. So then now we want to UL from left to right inclusive, right? So then now that means that for every so in theory, or it should anyway. So left should be a even number, and also right should be a even number, right? Because that's just how it kind of should go out, right? trying to think whether I should do it with an optimization or not. But man, this is kind of a hard one for a medium, isn't it? I'm trying to think, like, maybe not. Maybe I'm just kind of a little bit silly. But yeah, and then now we go mid is in range from left +1 to right, because it should be right -1 inclusive, with an increment of 2, right? So then now, so left result is going to be equal to f of left to mid -1. Tokens submit is going to be the operator, and right result is going to be f of mid +1, right? And then we just kind of merge them together. The thing is that, of course, this isn't quite right? Because in theory, maybe you do a max or a min, because we want to get all possibilities. And when we want to get all possibilities, this will actually return a list. So we gotta, return a list and, well, check it twice, I suppose. But yeah, so then now here, okay, so then result is equal to right? So then now you get a list from the left, a list from the right. We know the middle, so then here we just do another loop of whatever. So the calendar numbers assumes that each operation does all of one thing, right? And that's why I times it by 10. But now seeing how I'm doing it, it might actually be a little bit more whatever. But I think we end up not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing it all wrong, though, to be honest, which is hilarious because I spent so much time in the beginning doing random things. But all right. Anyway, so yeah, if mid is you go to plus, then we do this thing, and I don't know, L in LR for R in RR, R dot. Oh, that's terrible. I should go to rest. Something like this, right? And then we can return rest later. And then here we just 0 and n. And that's pretty much it. I mean, of course we have to write out the other ones, right? Because basically in doing this, what we're doing is putting a parent on the left side and parent on the right side. So yeah. And you can actually use like there are actually clever ways to do this as well with like functions, but like functools functions type thing. But oh, I don't have a base case. I forgot to write. I was thinking about that. I need it. But yeah, if left is equal to right, then we turn what is it? Num sub. Is it num sub? No, it's token. Token sub left. Right. That's alright. Dong dong dong. Oh, I didn't call it, did I? Oh no, I did call it. Usually I do forget though. Alright, let's take a look real quick. Alright, 0, 5. So 0, 0. So we return something. In the LR. Oh, wait, no, I do return res. That's very weird. But it seems like we mostly return nothing. 4 and 5. Oh, did I do 4 and 5 looks awkward because it should be one number, but that's not, right? 0, 5, we have 1, 2. So 0, 5 go to 0, 0 and 2, 5. Wait, 0, 2, 4, right? Wait, what is tokens? Why is it? Oh, am I just being dumb? This is n-1. Okay. I am being dumb. But, all right, there you go. So I am being dumb in a easy fix. I don't know why I'm so sloppy these days. That was an obvious one, but I think I just watched it a little bit in the end. But yeah, I still have a print statement here somewhere. It seems like okay. And of course, we want to try the max case because, like I said, yeah, you don't always get to choose a max case, but is that enough? I just put it this way. But yeah, as you can see, it has a lot of input. But yeah, but that's the thing, right? And this is that we can we can test the max case, and it still may fail because we don't know. But hopefully this is right. But yeah, and if you did this during a contest, maybe you fail, and afterwards, after you submit, you get accepted. You go on with your day, you feel happy, and then they're like, nope, we added some random stuff that didn't make sense, but it still fails. Anyway, yeah, that's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Yeah, thanks for watching. Stay good, stay healthy to your mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye bye.